Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, today I'm going to be doing a Persona party member tier list. Yeah, we're just going to get right into it, and we're going to start with, obviously, Joker, S tier. Let's call this Joker. I mean, there's no tier better than Joker. He can do anything you need him to. If you need him to heal, he can heal. If you need him to physical attack, he can physical attack. If you need him stun, he can do stun bullets. If you need him to almighty, he can just do everything. So we're just gonna give him his own tier, and then we're gonna put, you know what, Futaba, because she's not combat. Okay, I spelled that on cameras. I'm crazy. We're also gonna put Futaba in that tier. These are just the two. Futaba you can't do anything with, but Joker, you absolutely can. So we're gonna go next with A tier. We're gonna put Ryuji first. So Ryuji, he's somewhere in the middle. I like personally using Ryuji in my parties, just because I like using a lot of physical attacks, so I can stack Joker and Ryuji on the physical side. But he really has low magic power, so early in the game, like Kamoshida, Madarame, he's really rather useless until you gotta level him up. You can unlock more and greater physical skills. Like right now, lunge, headbutt. That's Kamoshida's powers. Really, it's not doing anything. Madarame might have Zeo Naga, I think. That's like the medium lightning damage, medium electric damage, and then after that you can start using Zeodyne. You know, I'm blanking on the moves right now. Bloodbath. I don't know if Ryuji has that. That's just an example. You get leveled up physical attacks. So Ryuji is great for physical attacks, but he sucks at everything else for the most part. His magic's alright. I don't think he ever gets Maziodyne. I think the most he gets is Mazio Naga. So his magic definitely, he's not there for his magic abilities. He also has Turikadra and like the evolved form where he can buff the whole party, but that's very late game. But that is also a very useful skill to have. And like I said, I like to use a lot of physical attacks, so I can buff the whole party. Then I can go and charge Joker, Ryuji, and have him just bang bang. That's a lot of damage to a boss. Like, because I like to over level my characters a bit. So when I'm fighting a boss, it's rather easy, just because their character's already, leveled up past where they need to be. But we're gonna move on. Next member of A tier is gonna be On Takamaki. On might be the ultimate party member. The only thing she doesn't do anything for is physical attacks. Her gun attacks are pretty good because they attack all the enemies. So they just kill. They can kill all the enemies with the gun, or she can kill all the enemies with the gun attack. And then just her magic skills, they're great. Like with Ryuji, you're using him for the attack, but with On, you're using her for either magic or healing. And for me, I like to use her for, healing. I don't really use her magic all too much. but you can. You absolutely can. She is charged, so if you charge her up, uh, Blazing Hell, you use that, then you use her to heal. That's huge. I mean, that one attack is like 600 damage, 680 damage, and then she has Medirama. She can heal the entire party to full HP. My only concern or reason that On isn't S tier or in the Joker and Futaba tier is because of her health. She has pretty good MP. It's a little low for me, just 'cause I like to, grind out palaces through stretches of time. Like a single day, I'll try grinding out a palace, and send the calling card the next day, and then do the boss fight, and then have like 20 days of just free confidant time. That's how I like to play. But I mean, if you're just doing like a few objectives a day in a palace, On is definitely good at that. Her SP will hold out the entire time. Yeah, that's really my only issue with her. Also, her health, which she's more of a healer character, so she's not meant to be a tank, but she dies super early to the point where it's almost a hindrance in boss fights. Because, I mean, there are other party members that can heal and live throughout the attacks. But On, she just fire. It's very useful. A lot of enemies are weak to fire. And, yeah. So, we're going to move on. Next A tier is going to be Makoto. Now, I like Makoto. Alright. I wouldn't say I use her the most. She's not even my party a lot of the times. But she's basically a combination of Ryuji and On. She can heal. She has Medirama. I don't think she evolves it past that. Even then, Medirama is just huge. She doesn't have Medirahan. But that's what I was thinking about with On, where she can heal the entire party. But I'm pretty sure that's a social link skill. But with Makoto, she has some physical attacks. They're capped out at around medium. She has some magic attacks. Nuke, which I don't really like nuclear all that much. I mean, there aren't that many enemies affected by nuclear. It's not that common of a weakness, but it does decent damage. I just don't really use Makoto because my Joker usually will have higher ranked nuclear skills than she does at the time I'm using her. So it's more that she just doesn't work out with my party rather than she's actually bad. She's basically like the most well-rounded character you can have, right? Her gun is a little weak, especially compared to On. Her gun skills aren't as good, or not skills, just her gun isn't as good. But at the end of the day, it's very rare that you're actually using the gun in Persona. I know I rarely use it. But Makoto, definitely usable. Like having her in the party. She can do everything you need her to. But it's kind of like jack of all trades, master of none. And that's how I feel about Makoto. And that's why she's in the A tier. Alright, we're going to go down a tier now. Yusuke, B tier. So, Yusuke, right? He's good. I like him. But he's always out of my party after Kaneshiro. Or no, not Kaneshiro, Okumura. So I'll take out Morgana for, Kaneshiro actually, yeah. I'll take out Morgana and put in Yusuke for Madarami's palace. But after that, when it comes to Kaneshiro, I'll, just cut out Yusuke, put in Haru. That's mainly because I like to have like two different personas on Joker, right? One is specialized in magic, one is specialized in physical skills. So the way I have my Joker, he can really play off of anyone, but Yusuke, he can't heal, and he doesn't really have any real like buffs. He does have that little he can buff evasion stuff, but I don't really need that buff from Yusuke. I just don't think it outweighs the positives of having Haru, who has more utility in the party. Yusuke is very runnable though. In my first playthrough of Persona, I kept him all the way throughout the game, and it went well. He's very good. Yeah. I mean, Yusuke, he's a solid party member. Gun is nice. He has good physical skills. His ice skills cap out at heavy damage, but that's the same for basically all the party members. Their skills just cap out at maybe hitting one foe severe or just heavy skills. So yeah, where Yusuke's gonna sit. Next up we got Haru. I like Haru. Like I was just saying, she usually takes over for Yusuke in the Kumura Palace. Of course, her skills are more useful for that palace because it's literally her introduction, her main palace. So, Haru's definitely a lot more useful for that palace, but after that, it's really after that palace, I'll take her out and put Ryuji back in. So, when I'm done with Kumura's palace, I'll use Haru for a little bit afterwards. Her gun skill, which does severe, I think, has a high chance of a critical. It's good, nice to have. Psychokinesis skills, I'm not too sure how I feel about them. They're kind of like nuclear skills in that they don't affect many enemies, but they're still good to have. Haru, same thing with On. She just dies a lot in my party. That's probably because I do a lot of long dungeon crawling, just so I can spend more time with confidants later. But yeah, same thing with Yusuke. I was saying, she can do physical, she can do magic, but it's just not the best. On's better at magic than Haru. It's a different type, of course. On is better than at magic. Ryuji is better at physical. So just using those two instead of Haru, there's more I can do with that party, if that makes sense. But yeah, we'll move on. D tier for Morgana. I don't even use Morgana for real. As soon as I can get Morgana out of the party, I do. And it's nothing about Morgana's persona or anything. I just hate the character. Sure, Morgana's fine. Morgana can heal. Kind of like that Jack of all trades I was talking about. Use the slingshot. Horrible gun. I'm just a Morgana hater for real. Yeah. Morgana, just personal preference. Can't stand the character. But Morgana isn't bad as a party member. When you use Morgana in the party, that's completely fine. And Morgana can work. It's just I just don't like Morgana. Moving on to Kasumi or Sumire. So Sumire, I like her. Okay. She's nice, but it's that same thing where the character just died too quickly. It's not even like she has a whole lot of weaknesses that, Joker doesn't. Well, in late game, my Joker doesn't really have any weaknesses, but early game, right? Say Joker has a weakness to fire. Even if he gets hit by that fire attack, he's not gonna die like Kasumi will. So, or Sumire. But, I mean, it's really not like, she's not horrible. But, they're just An and Ryuji. Same thing with Haru. Same thing about Haru. An and Ryuji can take her place well enough that I don't need her in the party. Especially if she's just gonna die. Like, it's like if I were to run a party with Sumire, Haru, and An, and then Joker. All three of them, they're the fastest party members to die in combat. So just having two of them stacked on a party means you have to use up 2 turns reviving fallen allies. In Maruki's Palace, I know you can revive more than 1 ally at a time. That's Maruki's Palace only. So I don't even feel like it's really worth using them then. Alright, moving on to Crow. Or, yeah, I think Akechi was still called Crow here. But, first form Akechi, rather bland. Doesn't specialize in anything. Doesn't suck at anything. Just kind of whatever party member. His weakness gets hit a lot. And he dies early. And I can really say the same thing about this one. But Dark Akechi's skills are so much better. Leviathan, you have almighty damage. Double almighty damage actually goes so crazy. You just can't underestimate that. And he dies early, but he makes up for it in the damage that he can deal and the utility that he can have. So, this is the end of the rankings portion. Now I'm going to show you guys what my parties will look like. Alright, so we're back. Here I just got all the palaces laid out. And for Kamoshida, it's pretty obvious. You only have 4 party members. So this is the party that I run for that dungeon. Moving on to Madarame. Now have the addition of Yusuke. Not even Black Dragon Morgana up. I'm never using him again. So yeah, this is a party for Madarame. I think Yusuke is just better than Morgana. Having Ice is so much more useful. You have the potential to freeze. And Yusuke just has a better physical kid than Morgana does. So, yeah, definitely more useful in this palace. So, moving on to Kaneshiro. This palace, this is where I start to kind of mix match. And this is a hard debate for me. Ryuji or Yusuke. I can go either way. It really doesn't matter to me which way I go. They're really about even. Mabu, not Mabu. Oh, I don't know why I said Lil Mabu. I'll just go Ryuji. When I usually run this palace, I go Yusuke, but I recently found the value in Ryuji as a party member, so I'm gonna probably use him because I'm on my 3rd playthrough of the game right now. Probably use him when I get to Kaneshiro this time. Moving on to Futaba's palace. Here we'll go Joker, An, Ryuji, and Makoto. And Futaba, I'll just put her down here on Morgana. And this, you can't really use Futaba as a party member, but definitely a good addition to the team. Uh, oops. Just fix these tiers real quick. Alright. We have Akumura's Palace. I'm pretty sure these are in order. I did not look up the order. This is just off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure these are in order. So for Akumura, this is what I like to run. Sadly, Ryuji missed out on the party this time. Trust me, he will be back. So, and yeah, this is what I go with when I run Akumura's Palace. It's like my Joker, you know, he can do the physical, so you can take over for Ryuji. But we now have on Makoto to heal, just because those creatures can be annoying. Not the creatures, the robot workers. They can be annoying to deal with. My Joker usually has some electric skills around here, so I can take over for Ryuji there and in the physical department. But Ryuji is definitely helpful to have on the team. But here I just went as many elementals as I could get. That palace is all about just weaknesses and what works on the robots and what doesn't. Because without those weaknesses, you're really not getting anything. You're gonna run out of time if you don't abuse the weaknesses. So now we're gonna move on to Cyanijima's Palace. And this is the team that I'll run here. So, Joker, like I was saying, my Joker can go either way. Physical or magical. Either way, my Joker's gonna be an attacker. On's gonna be a healer. Makoto is kind of like jack of all trades tool. She can be an attacker, a healer, a buffer, whatever I need at the time. My individual turn. And then Ryuji, purely attack. And he can also buff with Charikadra, but purely buff and attack. If I need to, I'll use him to revive anybody. But this is Nijima's Palace, so I really need to revive anybody here. Just like boss battles, I guess. Or the boss battle. Lon might die. And I'll just use Ryuji's turn to heal her. Because I can do so much more with Makoto and Joker's turns. So that's also something Ryuji is good for. He's not a wasted turn if he can use a physical or electrical attack. But his turn isn't so important that you don't lose a lot of value by using him to heal like you would on a Joker turn for me. Because on Joker's turn, I'll have a charge and some magical effects going on, like almighty damage. Yeah. So, that's it for Nijima's Palace. Moving on up to Shido's. Hold up. I forgot to add for Nijima's Palace. Sometimes I'll run this. Just because this is Akechi's introductory palace, I might like to run him here a little bit. But, like I said in the rankings part, he dies super early, and his weaknesses get exploited a lot in this dungeon. So, I don't actually use him all too much. But he's always, like, it's 50-50 between him and Ryuji, who I actually use. Or, not Ryuji, him and Makoto, who I actually use here. Just depending on the playthrough. But moving on up to Shido. This is where Akechi leaves. Akechi's gone. So, this is like my locked-in party for the most part. The OGs. And here I'll just run a Makoto. You know, chill. Yeah, I mean, kind of like I was saying, Kaneshiro, Kumura, minus, you know, Ryuji. But, I mean, yeah, it's like, this party can do everything you need him to. Physical, magical, buffing, debuffing, healing. It's just very balanced. And for Moroki's Palace, I like to run this. it's for a while I tried running Sumire in this palace, but she just dies so quickly. I just couldn't anymore, so I just replaced her with Ryuji. Of course, I could put Takechi in there because Takechi, he's cool, but I mean, yeah, this party just aside from Akechi, he's pretty well balanced. Akechi, I just let him go. Leviathan, Megiddo or Megidola. I mean, he has heavy curse damage. I just let him go until he gets low. Then I'll heal him up. I'll use a charge physical skill in Joker. I'll let Akechi go that turn. Probably use Leviathan. Then I'll use Ryuji physical skill. Then I'll use On to heal them all. And yeah, that's just kind of like the loop I like to go in Marky's Palace. But yeah, that'll be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.